Hello, Egg Nation. Why are eggs suddenly so expensive? It's not just the chickens. A big part of the answer lies in tariffs. A tariff is essentially a tax placed on goods imported from another country. Okay, let's crack it open just like an egg. Suppose your country produces eggs domestically, but other countries also produce them. If foreign eggs are cheaper, people will naturally prefer to buy those. After all, an egg is an egg, and if they're the same, most will choose the cheaper one. But if too many people buy foreign eggs, local farmers may struggle to survive because they can't compete with those lower prices. That's where governments step in. By placing a tariff, a tax, on imported eggs, they raise the price of foreign eggs and make local eggs more attractive. Picture this. Imported eggs cost $3 a dozen. If the government adds $1 as tariff, the price jumps to $4 at the border, and by the time they reach the store, they might be $5 or even $6. Meanwhile, if domestic eggs cost $4 a dozen, suddenly, local eggs don't look so bad. Tariffs tilt the scales, protecting local farmers from being priced out of their own market. That's great for the farmers, but not so much for consumers. Before tariffs, shoppers could buy eggs for $3. After tariffs, they may be paying $5 or more. The extra money flows into the government's pocket as revenue, but it comes out of everyone's wallets. Tariffs are a balancing act. They protect producers, but they raise costs for consumers. The ripple effects don't stop there. Suppose your country raises tariffs on imported eggs from country A. Country A might retaliate by raising tariffs on something your country exports, say, milk or grain. Suddenly, your dairy farmers are in trouble. What starts with eggs can snowball into a trade war, spreading across multiple industries like steel, cars, electronics, or clothing. Eggs make this easier to see. Imagine a baker who relies heavily on eggs. If tariffs double egg prices, the baker's costs soar. To survive, they either raise the price of cakes or absorb the loss. If prices rise, fewer customers buy, and the entire chain of businesses feels the squeeze. So why not just allow eggs to flow freely without tariffs? Wouldn't that give everyone cheaper eggs? Free trade often does benefit consumers, but governments worry about long-term security. If local egg farms collapse under the weight of cheaper imports, the country becomes dependent on foreign suppliers. That dependency can be risky. What happens if the foreign supplier suddenly stops exporting eggs or drastically raises prices? Without local farms, the country is stuck. Either it pays whatever is demanded or faces shortages. That's why tariffs are not just about price, they're about security. They can protect industries considered essential or strategic, even if they're not the cheapest. At their core, tariffs are simple. They're taxes on imports designed to protect local industries. But in practice, they're messy. Sometimes tariffs are small, maybe 5% or 10%. Other times they're massive, 100% or more. Imagine imported eggs at $1 with a 100% tariff. Suddenly they cost $2, pricing them out of reach. The higher the tariff, the more local products gain an advantage, but the more consumers feel punished at checkout. And that's the controversy. Supporters argue tariffs defend jobs and industries. Opponents argue they hurt consumers and create inefficiencies. Think about it. If another country can produce eggs more cheaply and efficiently, then in a free market, it makes sense to buy from them. Your country saves money and can focus on producing something it does best. Tariffs interfere with that natural efficiency, going against the principle of comparative advantage, the idea that every country should specialize in what it produces most efficiently and trade for the rest. So why do tariffs keep coming back if they go against efficiency? Because economics isn't the only factor. Politics, jobs, security, and public opinion matter too. No politician wants headlines screaming that local egg farms shut down because of cheap imports. Tariffs become a tool to show they're protecting local workers. In other words, it's eggs today, jobs tomorrow. But tariffs can backfire. Suppose the government raises tariffs on imported eggs to boost local production. If local farmers can't ramp up quickly enough, the result is shortages. Prices climb even higher. Consumers suffer, businesses suffer, and sometimes black markets appear. People may even start smuggling cheaper eggs to dodge the tariff. It sounds wild, just over eggs. But the same logic applies to steel, oil, cars, and even digital products. Tariffs reshape prices, shift incentives, and ripple across industries. Sometimes they help, sometimes they hurt, and often they do both at the same time. In the end, tariffs are complicated. They protect, but they also cost. They stabilize, but they can destabilize. While they look like a simple tax on imports, they reach far beyond farmers and consumers, touching bakers, exporters, industries, and entire economies. If you want me to crack open even more complex topics, just like an egg, in the simplest way possible, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.